Alright, what's going on guys? Flying DBC here and I'm back for another Pokemon Masters video, and every day that passes is another day closer to the reveal of N, and oh man, I'm very excited. I'm very excited. Now it's not confirmed that it's gonna be with N is gonna be with Reshiram, or it's not confirmed it's N either, but like we are highly anticipating it's N because the picture that they showed was a throne, and it's in the Team Plasma castle, and who else is the king in Team Plasma in the throne when we play Black and White? It is N. So it's not confirmed, but at the same time it kind of is, but we just don't know who N is going to be paired up with, and me, and including with a lot of other people, we expect him to have Reshiram because it just fits N perfectly, and this is what is basically canon with N as well. So what I'm going to do in this video, we're going to be creating N and Reshiram, and we're going to see what kind of build would be best with him, because if N and Reshiram do come into the game, they're probably going to be a fire type because their signature move is Fusion Flare, and that move is a fire type, so it's also going to be on their Sync move as well. So I mean, I've already created N and Reshiram, so we'll take a look at that, and then we'll go over that as well. But like, if we look at them, they're a Dragon and Fire type, but of course, like with Fusion Flare being their signature move, that's probably what they're going to have in Pokemon Masters. So then that's going to ultimately put them at a Fire type user, and they're going to be competing with Red and Charizard for the #1 spot if that's the case. So we need them to be either #2 or getting rid of Charizard and N, so that we finally have a new #1 in Pokemon Masters. And I think it's time. I think N is a perfect candidate to be #1 in Pokemon Masters because he's the true king, and we need a true king to be in the #1 spot for Pokemon Masters. But anyways, as we can see, he is a Dragon and Fire type, and like, yeah, with Fusion Flare, he's most likely going to be a Fire type. And then when we look at his stats right here, we can see that he's gonna definitely be a special attacker, so another reason why we should have Reshiram be #1, because he's a special attacker, and same with Charizard. Like, even if Reshiram is not better than Red and Charizard, at least have him at #2, so we have more options. So like, if we don't want to run Red and Charizard, at least we know if we choose N and Reshiram, they're gonna get the job done perfectly fine as well. And then when we look at their moves, like, they don't have that much of a variety, but we can see that they do have Hyper Voice, and that could be an AoE that they could have. Fusion Flare, like I said over there, but it's a 100 base power, so I'd rather him have Blue Flare, so he can kind of compete on the same level with Blast Burn, because right now that's 130 base power. Yeah, it does have 85% accuracy, but that could easily get fixed in the grid as well. So that's his moveset over there. Like, overall, he does look very good. Obviously, it's a Reshiram. He's a very good Pokemon anyways. But in terms of offensive power, Zekrom is 100% better than Reshiram, but it depends on the situation. But overall, when it comes to offense, Zekrom is better than Reshiram, but Reshiram can definitely hold his own still regardless. He's a very good Pokemon. But anyways, let's go to my notes very quickly and see what kind of build I have, and we'll go over that in just a second. Alright, so this is the build that I have with N and Reshiram, and it's not complete, obviously, but it's just sort of like a quick little breakdown on what I think N and Blue, oh my god, N and Reshiram could possibly have, and I feel this fits them perfectly fine. Maybe a little bit too overpowered, but let's just go over it right now. So N and Reshiram, their physical, or their HP is 589. Their physical attack, which is irrelevant, but I still put that in there anyways, is 250. Physical defense is 145. Special attack 490, which is obviously high. It's definitely high, but they're a legendary, so like, I think it can be excused. Special defense 160, speed 320. And for the move 1, like I said, I prefer Blue Flare over Fusion Flare, just because it's stronger and it could kind of compete with Blast Burn. And then for move 2, we have Dire Hit Plus, and then for move 3, we have Hyper Voice, and for move 4, we have the training move, which I named Pure Hearted. And it radically raises the special attack and sharply raises speed. And in order for Reshiram to also be better than Charizard, he'd need to reach his max potential faster than Red and Charizard as well. So that's why I put radically for special attack. So you just use Pure Hearted once, and you're done with that, and then you can just start raising up your crit if you want to, unless you have support there that could raise your crit for you. Otherwise, you can just start attacking after using Pure Hearted once. Oh my god, I can't talk. But anyways, like, I think that would be very, very good, because another way to make Reshiram much better than Charizard is, of course, reaching the max potential faster than Red and Charizard, so you can start getting in the damage right away. And then for passive 1, I put Move Gauge Refresh 4, just like Red and Charizard, because that's going to help them a lot, because obviously Blue Flare is going to be a 4 gauge move, so having Move Gauge Refresh on his passive is also going to help him a lot too. And then for passive 2, we have Fire Shift, because he has Hyper Voice, which is an AoE. I didn't want to give him Heat Wave, because he could probably he could learn Heat Wave for sure. But I put Hyper Voice there just so it's something different, just so we don't have every single amazingly strong fire type with a Heat Wave. I decided to put Hyper Voice there with Fire Shift, so that Hyper Voice turns into a fire type move, so at least it's a different kind of fire type move, I guess you can say. Just so it's more of a variety, right? Just so it's not like the same stuff with every single Pokemon. Even though, like, I mean, I guess the type shift is starting to get overused now in Pokemon Masters, but I mean, we kind of need to have that sometimes here and there to make normal type moves relevant, and to make certain Pokemon better as well. And then for passive 3, we have Dauntless, because obviously we're gonna go up against some battles that lower special attack, or some moves that lower special attack. So when we have Dauntless on Reshiram, that's gonna help Reshiram deal consistent damage every single time. And then for the grid info, I didn't have everything there, but I do have some stuff. But it's for a bit of the stuff for the grid that I thought of Blue Flare Critical Strike 2. Which obviously, when you think of that, it is going to be overpowered, because then you could also get Critical Strike 3 on his passive or his lucky skill, and then that's going to turn into Critical Strike 5, which he's going to do like a ton of damage on Blue Flare. And then we got Hyper Voice Super Duper Effective 2, and then we got Hyper Voice Medium Chance to lower special defense when you use Hyper Voice, which is going to combo very nicely with Blue Flare, because then when you lower the special defense with the Hyper Voice, then you could just combo in with Blue Flare and just do a ton of damage. And then we got Sun Advantage, restores HP in the sun, which I think, yeah, this is definitely going to be overpowered. And we got Sun Shield, reduce damage by 35% when you're also in the sun. And I think it does balance out right now too, because if you were to have just Rapidash, like if you don't have Magearna, where you can constantly have Sun, same with Ho-Oh, if you just have Rapidash, this sort of does balance out, because you're only going to get 2 Sun uses, and it balances out, unless Rapidash gets a grid in the future with MP Refresh on Sunny Day. But if you don't want to use Rapidash for the limited Sun, you could just use Magearna every time you want to get a Sun active. So I mean, there's that too. But I think this is a pretty balanced. Like, I mean, okay, it's not balanced, but I mean, it is definitely very good. And obviously, this is not everything for the grid. Like, you'd have a Blue Flare power-up, of course, Hyper Voice power-up, Move Gauge refreshes for the offensive moves, and then you'd have MP refreshes for the training move and the Dire Hit Plus. Like, you have all that, the typical stuff that we normally get for the strikers for their moveset. But this is just some of the stuff I wanted to add in there, just to sort of get, like, something out there for Reshiram. So, like, if any of the devs for Pokemon Masters end up watching this video, come on, please make Reshiram and Zekrom or N and Reshiram like OP. Make them the #1 striker in the game. I think they need to. It would be very fitting, of course. But this is what I have. Of course, like I said, I put radically raise his special attack on Pure Hearted, just because. Like I said, if you want to have Reshiram better than Red and Charizard, they're going to need to reach their max potential faster, so that you can start doing the damage a lot sooner. Obviously, since they don't lower their defense in anything, that's already going to make them a lot better too, considering they're also reaching their max potential a lot faster than Red and Charizard too. So, like, honestly, this is how I built Reshiram. It's not fully built, of course, it's just something little there, just to sort of get like an idea on what Reshiram could look when he's like really overpowered. But of course, Dina could just make him complete shit, and make them not even in the top 5, but it would be completely stupid. They know N and Reshiram would be crazy hyped because a lot of people love N and Reshiram. So it would just be completely stupid if they decide to just shaft N. I don't think they'll do that, but this is my take on N and Reshiram. I think it's definitely overpowered, but especially with the HP restore in the sun and the 35% damage reduction when you're in the sun too. Because then at that point it kind of makes Reshiram a little bit of a tank as well. So but yeah, let me know what you guys think of my build on Reshiram. If you have your build on N and Reshiram as well, leave it down in the comments below. I thought I'd make this video because, like I said, with every day coming, it's a day closer that N and Reshiram's reveal, or N is going to make the reveal, and if N does end up getting Reshiram, then, I mean, I can look back at this build and see what I got right and what I didn't, which most likely everything is going to be wrong here, but it's still fun to make a build on favorite Pokemon and trainers that are in the games. But anyways, that's going to be it. Let me know what you think of my build, even though, like I said, it's not 100% done, but this is what I have. Let me know what you think. Also, leave your builds in the comments below. Let's have fun with this. Like, and like the reveal is coming on the December 20th, so like every day I might have some kind of video hyping up N. Watch it not be N and just be guesses, and it's like, what? Flying DBZ, you were hyping all this stuff for nothing. It's like, I mean, we all thought it was gonna be N, but like, I'm sure it's gonna be N. But anyways, that's gonna be it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys later.
It's always hard when the journey